the state of your endocannabinoid system and how it's functioning. And this can be subject to great variations between you, me, and the next person. And the state of your endocannabinoid system can vary in response to things like stress. It can vary in response to things like your nutritional status, which I'll cover a little bit later. But the fact of the matter is that your endocannabinoids, or anandamide and arachidonoglycerol, are circulating inside of you, causing changes in things like energy metabolism and mood and your immunity. And in the same way that CBD and THC interact with the CB1 receptor, anandamide and arachidonoglycerol do as well. And a few studies have shown that increased cannabinoid signaling has antidepressant and anxiolytic-like effects, whereas reduced signaling or imbalanced signaling produces depressive-like and anxiogenic-like effects. So that's quite an interesting observation. And obviously, when you throw cannabis into the mix, that's going to be further altering that balance to you specifically. So I mean, the endocannabinoid system is a profoundly influential system throughout the body. It influences, massive amounts of neurotransmitters like glutamate, dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and acetylcholine, and all of these can have profound neurological effects in terms of your mood, memory, cognition, and your get up and go. So, it's quite a big thing here. For some people, you can have overactive or underactive enzymes which synthesize or degrade endocannabinoids. You can also have genetic polymorphisms in the expression of the CB1 receptor, which can influence the binding and therefore, affect your mood. And also in response to stress, the CB1 receptor can be downregulated, the gene for the CB1 receptor, sorry. So there's a whole bunch of environmental influences which, they interplay with your genetics and your state as an individual, as well as the cannabis you're smoking, to produce these effects. So an interesting one is also nutritional status, because endocannabinoids are actually synthesized from omega fatty acids, specifically the omega fatty acid arachidonic acid. And so the balance of your intake of polyunsaturated fatty acids can actually have quite a profound effect on the endocannabinoid signaling, and therefore neurotransmitter signaling, and therefore other systems throughout your body, and which could potentially determine your response to smoking cannabis. So, in terms of good health, supplementing omega-3s and taking on plenty of fatty fish consumption, and if you're a vegan or vegetarian, a lot of oily greens like watercress and spinach, which contain alpha-linolenic acid, which is incredibly beneficial for essentially ending up in omega-3 DHA, which is great for antidepressant and great for brain health. So there's just a few thoughts there, and I just want to share a few things that I've done in my life to change my response to cannabis and improve my relationship, which you can try too. Obviously, what works for me might not work for you, but I just want to share it anyway. So obviously, sourcing good quality bud, you can actually, depending on what country you're in, you can get it tested for residual pesticides, tested for molds, and obviously get the cannabinoid profile tested, so that you can start to experiment with strains and see what balance of THC and CBD and other cannabinoids might be right for you, because it's not going to be the same for everyone. Also, have a look at your nutritional status. Maybe if you suspect heavy metals to be present, and you can get tests. You can get heavy metal tests done from a functional medicine practitioner, and you can also detoxify your body naturally through use of saunas. Exercise is a good one, and also by including more organic plants in your diet. Good source of quality protein to help drive detoxification, also minimizing your exposure to environmental toxicity and through alcohol and caffeine and excess sugar and things like that. And also you know, if one I found incredibly useful is just being more mindful about my smoking. You know, if I used to smoke all day, every day, but you know, I smoke in smaller doses, and I don't smoke on consecutive days, and I find that that level is good for me. It might be different for everyone else, but you know, if I smoke too much in one evening, I might feel groggy and feel not so motivated and feel slightly depressed the next morning, or even on the evening. So like the dose is really important, and also just by giving myself a gap and you know, filling my day or filling my evenings with other things like exercise, and really balancing out my cannabis consumption with other things that I enjoy doing. You know, maybe using it to enhance the things that I'm already doing, and not using it as just the entertainment itself. So I use it quite a lot for the gym and to enhance my training and focus and recovery, and I like to do some yoga with it as well, which allows me to immerse myself into the practice a little bit more, and maybe do some meditation with that as well. So, you know, there's just a few things that I've done, and, you know, maybe it might stir a few ideas that you might like to run with. But I just wanted to share this stuff with you today, and I'll provide some links in the description for more information. But thanks very much, friends, and hopefully you can be lighting one up and enjoying it again soon. So thanks and peace.